Hi everyone, I'm making this video to show you the beginnings of my new 4-gallon pico mangrove tank. All the components you see here before you are what are going to be used to create the tank and plumb it into my existing system. You've got the tank, which is a UNS 5N. It's a 4-gallon tank. Nice rimless tank, mitered seams, and I have gone ahead and I have already used my drill to drill the bulkheads in, or the holes for the bulkheads in. I picked up this overflow from Bulk Reef Supply on one of their Black Friday sales. They were doing a deal on them, and this is going to go right there in front of those holes where I'll have a Herbie overflow system, and right here will be my return with this Loctite flange, or lock line, sorry, not Loctite, to control the flow of the water in the return. I did put a fairly low water level in this tank because it is going to be down low where my kids are going to be able to put their hands, and I wanted to try to keep a little bit of an edge if they were to accidentally grab it, and hopefully it'll keep their little fingers out of there. Over here we have a bag of MR Marker Rocks frag mounts. I picked these up figuring I could use some of the small pieces to kind of decorate the tank. There's actually a good amount of rock in here. I like that some of them are flat on the bottom. Realistically, I'll probably end up using 1 or 2 small pieces in the tank because it is so small, and the rest is going to go into my sump to just create more filtration area for the tank. We also have a bag of sand. I got the Carib Sea Aragalive sand. I believe it's a 10-pound bag, and that should give me a fairly good sized sand bed, but I think what I'm going to do is actually add quite a bit more because I'm going to want the sand bed at about 3 to 3.5 inches deep. I have also purchased a LED grow light, and that is what's going to be over the tank to allow the mangrove to grow. I did a little bit of research, and this is what is recommended. It's pretty high powered. I turn the thing on and it is bright. If you have never drilled out a tank before, it is a little scary the first time you do it, but a couple of pointers you want to use. Use a cordless drill, and you want to set it to the lowest setting, and that allows the chuck to, as soon as it meets any resistance, it just vibrates, so it's not going to crack your glass if you leave it on that setting. And from experience, it won't do that until you're at the very last piece. Just as it starts to go through, it tends to catch, and that's where you would end up cracking your tank. But as long as you're set on that thing, the setting there, you should be fine. You want to run it underwater as you drill. I picked up this little device here. It's got a suction cup right here, and you can adjust this part, and it will actually hold the bit and keep it centered while you drill, which is really nice. I believe the kit came with a whole bunch of different size glass hole drills. The next step we're going to do is apply the aquarium silicone to the overflow box and place it right on that blue tape. So what I didn't explain before the video was that what you can do to smooth out that silicone edge, because it's not going to look perfect when you just start, is take your finger, usually I like to wear gloves, dip it in some water, and then use your finger to smooth out those edges, and it comes out really nice. All right, so as you can see, the overflow box is all set, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a black background, and all you're going to do is cut it to shape, spray some soap and water mixture on the back, and then squeegee it out. It'll allow you to move it around a little bit. It might not dry immediately, but if you give it a day or so, all that soap and water will dry out and it'll be stuck to the back. So here we go. I got the line going over to my mixing area where I mix up the salt water, and it pumps up into here. I'm going to fill it right almost all the way up so I'm not draining down my tank just to fill up the new thing. And I'm just going to run it through for a little while and make sure that everything runs right before I put rocks and sand and everything in. But you really want to do a leak test and make sure that you're not getting any water dripping out of the back or anything. Okay, here is the tank. So it got very cloudy when I dumped the sand in, and it's taken most of the day to clear up, but seeing as it is hooked all into the same tank, that's a pretty quick clear up actually. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to run the NPS corals, non-photosynthetic corals, in here, so that they don't really need that much light, especially once the mangrove starts shading it. And I'm going to create a cover for this box here and put some air plants and other little plants up there. So that will look nice.